Okay, now, JK, it's all yours. Go for
Hey everyone, this is JK, your favorite host. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to get Mike Hughes on the line here. His last four is 4638, beginning with 801.
it. Yeah, it is. Now, hold on one second. Let me get him on, all right? Okay, the person with the 801 area code, you're on. Go
No,
ahead.
not the area code, the last four digits. Repeat it, John.
Yeah.
4638.
Okay, 4638. Go ahead. You're on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
We
can.
can.
Hey
Oh.
Mike.
How are you guys?
We're doing great, Mike. I'm glad you made time to get yourself away from that flight simulator.
No, thanks for having me, you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity. And I am up here doing some aviation training at the time.
Yeah, and what we'd like you to do, Mike, is just kind of tell a little bit about, how we got involved and how you come down to Hopi, and especially tell us how you guys stage everything before you, because you go to a lot of different places, to maybe name the villages and just all, how you get all the airplanes, etc. And it's all your floor. Take
Yeah.
as much time as you want.
Okay. Yeah. So our organization is called Backcountry, and it was really inspired by. We started almost hearing that there was someone years ago that used to fly to the remote locations across Navajo and Hopi reservations, take Christmas gifts, somewhat of the bomber intent. And we heard that, and the individual that used to do that passed away, and we just felt there was a massive need for us to kind of bring this back to fruition, and that's kind of what we did. So probably 5 years ago, we started putting a group of pilots together and really trying to come up with ways that we could get funds or funding just
Michael?
for the supplies and the goods.
Hey, Michael, are you on speaker?
Yeah. No.
No? Okay. We're just getting a little bit of feedback, but go ahead and just, I'm sorry to interrupt you. But
That's
wait,
it. I can hear feedback myself. I don't think it's my phone.
okay. Go ahead again.
Okay. So we organized ourselves and were able to find funding. We started small, and I think that first year, we tried to communicate, which was one of the hardest things we had, is identifying where we could go, where people could benefit by us bringing in essential items to these groups. So we started on the Navajo reservation and Montezuma Creek, Navajo Mountain were our initial primary locations that we delivered to. And over the last couple of years, our base has grown dramatically. I think last year we were up to somewhere near 70 planes that were flying these remote strips with a significant amount of goods that we were. And Hopi was our first get into Hopi last year. That was by meeting Mike and his team, and Hopi was just incredible for us. See, incredible place again, incredible, really opportunity. Can you guys hear me? It sounds like there's a lot of echo.
Bob?
Yeah, all right, the steps that's coming from the. Are you on a cell phone?
I am.
You are on a cell phone, so that's where it's coming from. The echo from there. Don't if you're standing up, don't move.
Not moving.
Yeah.
I'm sitting down.
Okay, or maybe turn around at a little different angle or something. You're not. It's the cell you're getting the feedback from.
Okay. Trying here again.
That looks
But
good
in a
right
sense,
there.
hope to now. That better?
Yeah,
And
maybe a
I have
little softer.
feedback. Okay. In a sense, I think every year has grown kind of for us, and we've been able to really grow. And this year, we're planning on again making our way to Hope. We'll be based out of Monument Valley, so we're serving the Monument Valley community, Hopi community, Navajo Mountain community, Montague Creek community, and just out of Kayenta. So we're within that location, which is a very hard to access, long drives for the most part, and able to just bring a group of airplanes locations.
I got a question on that one. When you're bringing in the planes, okay, are these small planes? Are they big planes? Are they cargo planes?
You know that I find most people they're going to be small planes. A lot of them are, they're anywhere from a small plane meaning 2 seats to 10 seats are some of the larger airplanes that we're flying.
Okay, so they take out seats.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say they take out the seats and then they use that as the cargo space.
That's correct. So seats are out, limited amount of people, and we're only in these smaller remote strips.
And it's really interesting when they come flying in, those really small planes. The boxes are bigger than almost it's too hard to get out of the doors because they're so small, but they somehow get lots of stuff in there.
There's a lot, I did fly for a while, and it's like when you put too much stuff in the plane and you can't get off the ground. Whoa! And if it's a short runway, oh boy.
Yeah, tell them what it's like flying into Hopi.
Yeah.
What that again?
Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, tell them what it's like flying into the Hopi Reservation Airport.
The Hopi Reservation Airport, well, it's a more improved strip than some we're landing at because some of them are just straight dirt or graded out for us. But Hopi has an asphalt. It's very hard to find. It's not on your. It's not in the database, I would say, when we're looking for the airport. So you kind of have to know where it is to be able to find very small related strips.
That's too much. We had a strip when you took on the strip that I was on, you had to go straight up because there was a mountain right in front of you at the end of the runway. So I was like, ew. Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about when you can't find something because if you're on the other side of the mountain, you don't know the airport's even there.
That's right. And the location we're based out of, kind of distributed from the Monument Valley, which is just gorgeous. It's right in Monument Valley, but it's a one-way strip. There's a runway that goes up. Probably a 300-foot tall cliff. So if you land one way, the other way.
Yeah, I've been to Monument Valley. Used to live over there, and it is you can't beat the view right over there by Mexicanat.
Correct. It's beautiful. And Mike, I'm you guys, I'm sorry for the feedback. I don't even know if it's legible. Mike may be able to better explain things in detail. Doesn't have the echo.
Oh, I'm coming with feedback too.
Okay, you can hear us too, right?
Yes, I can hear you guys. I just am wondering how legible my
Okay.
Mike, we got two more on the line.
Okay, so we have also Mike. Our schedule is to come in on December 16th, as we're set right now, and then we have, depending on weather, we have some weather dates, and that's on the 14th and the 19th. Does that sound correct?
That is correct, Mike. Those are the dates. We're
Okay.
hoping for good weather on the 16th.
And we're gonna have everything all staged when these airplanes come in. They come in maybe sometimes 3 at a time, sometimes 1 at a time, and we start staging up all the goods that they come out of the airplanes. And then we have them in trucks, and we've already submitted names to Mike and his backcountry Santa, and they've already been scheduling and planning this for quite a while, but they go to all the places and pick up the clothing, pick up the food items for different age groups, infants, toddlers, and teenage groups I mean, not teenage, but I don't know what their group, from 12 to 18 years old, and then the elderly. They usually bring most of the good stuff for the elderly, and it was really cool to see some of the packages that came from for the little toddlers. And we had nothing but wonderful feedback from all of the things we don't get to see, Mike, is that the gratitude that we get from, and I get from the feedback from all the people. They all tell me and pass it on to my father, or through Facebook, that how wonderful and grateful it is that we share with other people. And so we can't thank you enough, Mike, for everything you guys have done. And I hope we can continue to do this program and bring stuff down and make it bigger and bigger every year, maybe.
Well, thanks for that feedback. It really is. I mean, it's a touching event for everyone involved. We've got so many volunteers and people, and it's great to get that kind of feedback from the people that we touch their lives. Very great.
Yeah.
People. And we don't plan on quitting anytime soon. We plan on growing every year as well. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for taking the time out too. We love you.
No, thank all you. Thank you guys. We love you too.
Well, there you go. Keep the wheels on the floor. And the wings in the air. Let me see now. We got to. Okay, up next. And I'm going to use the last four numbers, but the area codes are all the same. The next caller with the last four numbers, 85 and 21.
Did they have a question or comment?
They're there.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. All right, you there? 85 and 21. Talk to me.
They're still on though?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're just listening.
Yeah, last name is Umbrella.
Last name's what?
Umbrella?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Maybe they're just listening.
Okay, there's another one. Let me see. Last four numbers, 3,800. Who's on? Hello. Hey, guys, I can see you. Come on. Let's.
Everybody's getting shy on me. I never heard of that number though.
They're there.
Maybe they can pipe in later. Is there a way for them to push a button and
I can start them over again later. So what were you going to say, Mike?
I was just gonna what I could go on till if somebody has a question or they want to pipe in. I'm more than happy to do it. But what I could do is just go right into December 3rd and how that all come down and how successful it was.
Goodbye.
So we could do something like that if you'd like. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so on December 3rd, this past Saturday, it all started about 7 o'clock in the morning, and we got up on top of the mesa. If you can visualize, nice cold desert, and you go up only one entrance going up on the side of a mesa, and it's called First Mesa Villages. There's 3 villages on top of this small mesa. There's only one way in and only one way out, and a lot of the people are have gone down because it's some of the places have no electricity and no water, and so we
Yeah, oh, there it is.
There goes. Sam is in.
Who's that? Oh, Sam. Yeah, you're in, Sam.
Sam, are you
All
in
right.
it?
Yeah, I left my phone in the car. Sorry about that.
Well, you're giving away your age, Sam, because we've been waiting for you to talk for a few minutes, and you didn't say much.
Well, is there a hot limit on this?
No, go ahead, Sam. You. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you know, what do you just tell me? I would have gotten your cell phone for you for crying out loud. Come on, let's go.
Okay, so when's the soonest we'll know you're coming in? I noticed you 16th, but when will you be able to confirm that?
He usually calls me. Mike does, and all the other people in the other parts of the Navajo reservation. But they'll look at the weather, and they work with certain weather people up there, and they're coming out of Salt Lake City, which is fairly much up north in Utah, and they're looking at the weather all coming down to all the different northern Arizona areas and southern Utah areas. And then if it looks like it's good weather or it's going to be bad weather on the 5-day forecast, whatever it may be, they'll shoot for that date. So he is keeping in touch with me all the time, and then I just have to hurry up and get right up there if he moves it up, or sit back and take my time and go on the 19th.
Well, so that's what I was wondering, when, because then I might be able to get there if I have enough time. Can't notice.
That would be cool. Bring Bill with you.
Yeah, I would.
And I'm gonna be talking to Mike. I don't know if he's still on the phone or not, but I'm going to be talking to him about bringing one of my friends from and flying him down as well. Sometimes they have an opening on the seat, and they just fly down. It takes, I think he said, about an hour and a half to come from Salt Lake, and also and then about that far. So when the sun starts coming down, he says, I got to hurry up. And so they're taking as many loads as they can all day long, with 62 airplanes going back and forth from their staging area that he talked about. And as soon as it starts to get dark, they all start heading back up north, because they don't want to be flying at night. It's a little bit more difficult at the airport there.
Yeah. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. But if we can get him to bring somebody down.
Time up, then I might have to be.
That sounds really good, Sam, and thank you for calling in. And keep listening.
you.
And I'll tell you, Sam has actually come down with me several times. He knows what it looks like, and how there is need there right here in America. It's like stepping back into a National Geographic book that you used to read when you were really small, and we were all young, and so a lot of people can understand that. But it is like a third world country, no running water, see outhouses hanging over the cliff.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to visualize, but this is this is right here in America, right on top of these mesas. When you use the restroom, you have to be really careful that there's not a north wind when you go to use that outhouse. And there are times when we do this tour and do the Christmas thing, we have 100 people there, and without exception, somebody has to use the restroom. And if it's a little kid right in the middle of our tour, I'll tell them to go use the restroom, and then I'll quietly have everybody kind of gather around and watch the response. When they go in and use the restroom, you'll hear a yelling or a screaming or something because there's a splashback, and it's just really amazing to see the the adobe type dwellings, the Pueblo type homes that with mud covered with rock, old stone, and mud. And then when were you going to say something there, Bob?
Yeah, I was saying that. It sounds like a hunting trip. So, no, I've been on a few of them.
Yeah, and I've stayed up there before, and it's been like like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you got it.
You know. So anyway, we on was there another question for me, Sam, or no? Or is he off?
Sam is there. He's there.
Did you have another question, or are you okay there, Sam?
Hey, Sam, you there? Yeah, I know you're there.
He left his phone again.
I had to catch up with my phone to unmute it.
Ah,
Welcome to 80.
And now I've forgotten what I wanted to ask.
oh man.
Okay, if you think again, we'll come around again and write it down, okay? And so when we go,
Hey, Sam, wait a minute. Whoa. Hey, Sam, let me ask you a quick personal question here. Are you under 80 or over 80?
Yes,
You're under 80.
I am.
Okay, because I got my 72 is coming up, in a couple of months too.
I'm 75.
All right. So yeah, okay. So hey, you're only 3 years ahead of me. So hey, yeah, you got to
Enjoy it while it lasts.
I know, but you better start learning more about that cell phone. Boy, I tell you, everything is connected to
What'd
that
I do
damn
with
thing.
I know what I do with it now.
Yeah, seriously.
okay. You're too funny. Oh, yeah, so just don't forget to push mute and then unmute when we call you again or ask you a question again.
There is an answer to that, by the way, about the pushing the mute. Yeah, my second wife, I couldn't find a button.
Yeah. So anyway, we get up on the top of the first mesa, and we have a guy filming to see our. Well, let me kind of back up a little bit. Over in about 70 to 80 miles away, up by Tuba City, we have about over 100 volunteers and 32 trucks. We have trucks and trailers, so we have about 6 or 7 of those, and then a bunch of big vehicles, other trucks. all full of stuff, and they stage over there in a place called Moncopie, which is part of the Hopi reservation, but right next and border to Tuba City, which is the Navajo reservation. And they leave about 7 o'clock in the morning and arrive. Well, let's see, they leave at 8 o'clock in the morning and they arrive at the Hopi reservation on top of First Mesa around 9:15, 9:30. So by the time they get there, it's fairly warm, so we can, otherwise that desert cold will be very bitter and very cold, and it's not. You have to wear earmuffs and a thick coat early in the morning on the Hopi reservation.
Yeah, it's freezing over there.
Yeah, it was 36 that morning.
Yeah.
And
They call it goes up to 90.
And then there's a big difference on the reservation. The desert cold. Yeah, it'll be a big difference just in one day. And so we were counting the vehicles as they were coming down below, about a mile away. They were on the main road, and we counted 32 vehicles, and we had about 6 vehicles up on top. So there was, needless to say, there was a lot of people and bringing lots of stuff. The trailers were bringing firewood, many cords of wood. The day before, we get our wood all the way from St. George, Utah, Miliken, Utah, and there's a really nice person that donates. He's got quite a few acres of land, and he's let us use all the firewood that we want and that we could get for as long as he's there. And so there's a lot of beautiful, wonderful volunteers that have been warming up for this for a long time, and have been coming down with me. Some of them 20 years, and then we all get all staged and we all come and bring it all up. And I also want to just say one more thing, that we don't only just go to the Hopi reservation. It used to be called, my organization, nonprofit, was called Hopi Outreach, but we've dissolved that, and it sounded a little bit only centered on one tribe, but we like to help many tribes. And we do have people, even as we're doing the Hopi deliveries, we have other people that are going to the Navajo reservation, and because it's so big, Mark Robinson is his name. He's going out there and organizing all year long. And we have Ben Gom, who's up in Idaho, and he's got people making quilts and sometimes potatoes and blankets, and all year long that they're working on this project throughout the year. And they come down and they go as far as the Navajo reservation covers in 4 states. And so they're going to all these different places on the Navajo reservation, and then they'll meet us up at Hopi Land. And if they run out of stuff, they'll get some more stuff that we've collected, and then go back and help a few more families. We also notified Moncopie to come down, and then I also work with the Apache tribes down in Sibique to come and pick up stuff in the central area. In the past, I've had the Zuni tribe come up with trucks and trailers and pick up stuff and then take it back to the people, the elderly people. And in the past, we've gone to the Acoma tribe and delivered stuff, and then went over to the Santo Domingo Pueblo in New Mexico. And this is all after we go to the Hopi reservation and we reserve trailers and stuff like that.
I got a question. And
Yes.
I keep, the stuff is coming. What is this stuff?
Okay, so this year was humongous, and thank you, Mike, and thank you, Greg Ravel. Thank you, Kim Gilbert. Thank you, Arden Hess. Thank you. And the thank you yous can go on forever. But uh, they made it all happen. Thank you, Dennis Parker. But they get a lot of monies, and we got lots of monies this year. I'm guessing about $40,000 just in food, and that equaled 400 hams, and they're about $25 to $35 each ham. It's the top ham that's already spiraled, and we got four. I said 400, I think, and then we had 200 items of flour and honey and gallon Wesson oil and toilet paper, cases of toilet paper, cases of chili, and then we break it up and then make sure that we have enough for all the people, because we never know how many's going to be there. But this year we had plenty of food that we could not only take care of the elderly people, but over there an 80% unemployment rate, and depending, on a lot of lower income people that are there relying on welfare and the food banks, and it's just not enough because of their losing their income from the coal mine, and because of COVID strain that it's put on the Hopi reservations.
I was going to say that maybe by what you're doing, what you're talking about, what you represent for the Hopis, maybe this show can really put a little fire under.
That's what we're hoping for. We had some camera crews, PBS people there, and we did not film in the villages. So just to let anybody know that happens to listen to this, but they just basically in the parking lot, we had a prayer with over 100 people, and we had a Hopi lady. We all gathered around. It's nice and cold, and we all gathered around, and we had this lady named Cheryl, a Hopi native there, and she gave the most beautiful spiritual prayer of thanks, and how there's unity, that we need to have unity, and thanked all of the volunteers from the bottom of her heart. Everybody was crying at the end of her prayer. And something that touched me was, I get choked up when I think about it, but she said, "Thank you for Mike Sweat and helping our family and bringing our family closer together." And she meant all of the Anglos, the volunteers, and all of the Hopi people, because that's what the real meaning of Hopi means, is to love everybody. And their prophecies tell us that they are responsible. They are the caretakers of this earth and the caretakers of all nations, and to bring everybody back together again. And all the traditional Hopis know this. They know that this is their purpose here on this earth. And it was just so touching. And then my father, after the prayer, my Hopi father, I should say Leo Lacapa, he spoke to all the people, and he has a tracheotomy, and he has to hold his, that little button on the throat, and so it's really hard to hear. But I told him to warm up his voice because it's kind of cold in the morning, and he has to kind of practice how to speak. And it's hard for him to speak loud, but I've never seen him so excited and so grateful. And he spoke really loud and very eloquent. And the most important thing that he said was, "We thank you for making your sacrifice to come and help our people here that need it." And it was just overwhelming, and to feel the volunteers spirit at that time. So then after the prayer, we all go, we're blessed to have, we had Cheryl take a little tour and walk through this narrow pathway. It's only about 10 feet wide, coming from Middle Village to Walpi Village. And that's what separates them, is this narrow strip on top of this 200-foot mesa. And years ago, when I first went there, they didn't have these brick walls blocking on the sides of the road. So you had to, when it was pitch dark, you actually had to, and clouds, no moon at the time, you would have to kind of feel your way around on top of the mesa, because the stars don't give out a whole lot of light, and especially when it's cloudy, and you have to hope you don't fall off the edge of that cliff. And in the past, we have had people fall off the cliff as we were giving out stuff, and it wasn't the volunteers, but it was one of the local Hopi people and a good friend of mine. He did fall off and he passed away. But anyway, they go on a. Did you have a question, Bob?
No, actually, I was going to ask J.K. if he had a question, because it looked to me that his eyes were questioning.
Well, what I was going to ask Mike is how they can contact you if they want to donate.
The best way to contact us is go on our website, and it's unitedrain.org. That's the best place to contact us, and it's also the best place to place any donations. And we'll be talking a little bit about what we need, and to make this bigger. I go all year long. I'm not just doing the food thing. We do roof projects. While I was there, some people actually come up and told me their roof was leaking, and so, and I'm getting old. Last year I had 2 old people up on top of the roof, me included, and we were only good for, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes in that 100-degree weather in the summertime. And so and then we also had a youth group that came and delivered a lot of water, because they have bad water on their arsenic. You can Google that. They finally took after 10 years. And also you can go to my my email. It's gotsweat and the number 2 at hotmail.com. You can go to Facebook if you have any questions under Mike Sweat, and you can message me and ask questions and how to do this. But we're going to be still working with Mike and the pilots. So it's an ongoing project that I will never give up on until the day I died. Until I die. And we had a really kind of a strange experience at Hopi, and a lot of people questioned me, or questioned whether I was going to be coming back again. And my Hopi father said he received over 20 phone calls and said, Mike, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, and we need you, and we need your group to keep coming to help us, because we need the help. There's a lot of the villages are struggling with money, because normally it comes from, the federal government, comes down to the tribe, and then they dimmy out all the money to all the villages. And because they don't have that revenue coming in from the coal mine, they have no monies. They're on a real low budget.
Let me
So,
just step in here for a second. Are you saying they shut down the coal mines?
yep, about 3 years ago, the Peabody coal mine, and it was all half their revenue. And so they're broke.
So I'm not. I mean, seriously, I'm not getting political here. at all, but I'm just saying, like, okay, the new administration that comes in and they shut down coal industry. The same thing they're doing to the oil industry.
Exactamundo.
Yeah. Now you also said that the water, and we're gonna bring this out because I want you to know that you're gonna have a show on this network. So you're going to be able to talk just like we are now, and people are going to be able to call in. They're going to be able to ask questions, or if they have something they want to talk about, they can
Hmm.
do that too. And we'll also have it on here, like Skype has the same thing Zoom does, so we can do that too. The thing that I read the other day was, and I read a lot about America before I write about it. I read about somebody, but that the aquifers that are up by where you are also have uranium in in the water.
Okay, you had a little echo, but what are you asking about the water?
Radiation in the water.
Yes. Yeah, if you look at on the maps of the Navajo reservation, the Hopi is a real small speck in comparative, but all of that area of northern Arizona, all the way from Winslow, Flagstaff, Arizona, north, all the way to parts of a small portion of Utah, over to New Mexico, and a small corner of Colorado. That's all the Navajo reservation. And back in the 60s, the 50s, we were, digging. We had over 1,000 places where they were digging for uranium, and that um, it when you're digging for uranium and you're not replacing it correctly, it gets into the water table, and so it and also on the surface into rivers, and then it all flows downhill. So they've done tests all the way even down into Mexico from where they were drilling up with the uranium on the Navajo Hopi reservation. eh, eh, and all of that uranium, I mean, the radion 6, as they call it, the uranium, and the arsenic gets into the water. And that's where when they drill these wells to, to give to the people, it has all these contaminants from those mines. They've since covered it up, but it has not fixed underneath the water table. And then you have to kind of figure out and understand and study how the water runs and how minerals run underneath the ground that we don't see.
Yeah, I just saw the article that the other day and read the whole thing, and I'm saying to myself, no way. And it's true. I mean, it was pretty nasty. And they talk
Nasty.
about all these things that they want to stop. Well, okay, why don't they stop polluting the earth right under us? Because they want to. It's not that they have to, or could have, or whatever. I mean, face it, you're not going to tell me that nobody knew that could contaminate water.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are ways now that they can, with modern technology, which is crazy, because I deal with some of the people that are into purification, but they can get clean water now, and they can replace the oil when they pull it out. They can replace it with even cleaner water than what they take out. And if you're doing fracking, there's ways to keep the dust down and make sure it's all clean water uh, and clean transportation. Uh, it's sad, but that's where we've got to. And America has, cleaner air than we've ever had in the whole world, but it's not going to be stopped. Russia goes on, and China goes on, and Venezuela with the oil. I mean, and it's dirty oil,
Right,
filthy oil,
right, right.
and we have the technology to make it clean.
Yeah. The funny thing was that when they were talking about, we America has to climate change and all that. We're the ones that like have to do something immediately, or we're not going to be able to live here in 5 years. I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, whoa, whoa, whoa. What? I mean, I went to school. You went to school. Like 2 and 2 makes 4 still, as far as I know. When you have countries like India, China, part of Russia, and their nuclear stuff, and they're burning their coal and everything. Doesn't the Earth turn like the stuff that goes up in the air and the Earth turns? So where does it come down? Here. You know what I mean? Look
Yep.
at the way the sun comes up and goes down. Up in the east, it goes down in the west. Okay, if that's the way it works, it means that the Earth is turning from west to east. So whatever's coming over from China is coming.
Yeah, when you break it down like that, yeah, and it's really affected the Hopi people, and it is sad, and so my job is to educate everybody, and let's help out where we can. We have projects that, as you'll read in United Rain, we're not just we're not just doing immediate needs, but we have some really good plans on agriculture, hydroponics, different things that are going to benefit the Hopi. We just need to get enough money to do all these projects, give them jobs, give them self-worth, and show and let them take care of themselves ultimately. And we just need to find jobs that don't have to do with gambling and things that are gonna that they can benefit from. And they're the most excellent farmers and know everything about farming. They could teach us. They know everything about medicines that they can teach us. Natural medicines, and they have so much wisdom in science and mathematics, as we learned from the Mayas, and they're related to the Maya. So this thing is to benefit them, and we want them to fill in their position where they're going to lead us and bring everybody together, and let's live in peace and harmony and love each other instead of dividing each other.
Oh, you definitely know that one. All right, now, JK, you want to take us out of here or ask Mike whatever questions you have, and then we'll scat do.
I'm just going to remind everyone that donations are important to help the Hopi because they really need a lot of things. And the best way to get these things is through money because they can get these things like wood and coal at a discount if they buy in bulk. So money is the best way of doing it. So if you can find it in your hearts to donate, please do so. We would appreciate it, and Hopi would appreciate it.
All right, one more time. One more time for those addresses.
One more time, what?
For your addresses.
Okay.
Like, where can they get in touch with you when they listen to the show? Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be on YouTube tomorrow. And if you need, let me give mine. Anyone, anywhere wants a copy of this, and they can't find it, or they just can't get on my YouTube for some reason, write to me, Bob Charles Show. Very simple, at live, LIVE.com. If you write to me, I'll just write on the subject line, we need a copy. And then I know who I'm sending the copy to.
Wonderful. And if you want to get involved and help, I know we're going to be working on some getting more coal exported for about it's about 8-hour drive one way, and I mean imported, I should say, over to the Hopi, and break it up into small pieces to help the elderly. And we're also working on collecting more firewood coming in from St. George. And it just it costs a lot of money. So, and we only did 2 villages, and we still have 10 more to go. So we do need the help. Contact us at unitedrain.org, unitedrain.org, or email me at gotsweat and the number 2 at hotmail.com.
And there you go. And meanwhile, everybody, Everybody should right now, wherever you are, wherever you're standing, just say a prayer, a little gratitude. Say thank you that you have what you have, and then think about what it's like to share the Hopis. It's not a hard thing to do, really. All right.
Thank you so much again, Bob,
Definitely.
John. Thank you guys. I love you guys. And I love you all out there, and thank you all for the volunteers, and like Bob said, gratitude. If we're grateful for what we have, we'll be more than happy to help other people, because that's what gratitude's all about.
Pretty simple, really.
Yep.
Meanwhile, God bless you all. Bob Charles.